God had created man from clay. A being created in his image and likeness. His name was Adam, and God had created a place for man, who was his most special creation. This place was the Garden of Eden. There God had made to sprout a beautiful vegetation that was very beautiful to look at, in addition to providing tasty food. In the middle of this beautiful garden was the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, the one that contained the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. The garden was cut by 4 rivers, these were Pishon, Gihon, Tigris and Euphrates. Adam was allowed to eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except the fruit of knowledge, as this was the forbidden fruit. Man lived in abundance, but God realizes that Adam is lonely. Every kind of animal is presented to Adam and each one is given a name. But none of them can fill the void felt by Adam. So God decides to create a mate for man. Someone who would help you and respond. Then during the night, while Adam was fast asleep, God took a rib from him. And from Adam's rib God made the first woman appear. The next day, when Adam wakes up, he is faced with a beautiful woman. This one would become known as Eve. Upon contemplating her, Adam says, "This one is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." She was called woman because she was taken from man. The man and his wife were now both one flesh. The couple lived naked. For they knew no shame and lived in full happiness. One day, Eve was passing by the tree of knowledge, where the serpent was also, the most cunning of the animals created by God. And the creature called the innocent Eve. So it means that God said you shouldn't feed on the fruit of knowledge. And Eve said that God allowed her and Adam to eat any fruit in the garden, except the forbidden fruit, and that if they ate it we would certainly die. They certainly won't die. God knows that when they eat the fruit of knowledge their eyes will be opened and they will distinguish between good and evil. Persuaded by the serpent, the temptation to taste the forbidden fruit was irresistible to Eve. The woman then tasted the fruit of the tree of knowledge and offered it to her husband. Then they both realized they were naked and hurried to cover their private parts with fig leaves. Adam hears the footsteps of God who walked through Eden. He and his wife hid among the bushes. And God said, "Why are they hiding? We heard your steps and we hid because we are naked." God realizes that man had tasted the fruit of knowledge. "It was all the fault of the woman you gave me. It was she who offered me the fruit." Eve told God that she was deceived by the serpent. God, furious with the serpent, curses him. This one was now doomed to crawl across the floor dragging its belly. The serpent and his descendants would be enemies of the woman and her descendants. The sons of the serpent will bite the heels of Eve's descendants and they will try to crush the serpent's heads. And God said to the woman, "Only with much pain and suffering will she give birth to her children, and her desire will be for her husband and he will dominate her. And you, Adam, who let your wife disobey an order given directly by me. He made the earth cursed, and now you will only feed from the earth with much suffering and the sweat of your face. Until the day you return to the earth, because you are dust and to dust you will return." God made fur clothes for the couple and expelled them from paradise. Now they would have to cultivate the land for their sustenance and would no longer have access to the tree of life.